In a quiet little village, there lived a curious boy named Adam. He always asked questions. Why does the moon shine? Why can't we see the wind? His curiosity never rested. One afternoon, while returning from school, Adam stopped near an old library covered in dust. On its wooden door, faded golden letters read, "Knowledge is the treasure that grows when shared." He gently pushed the door open. It creaked and echoed through the empty hall. The air was thick with the smell of old paper and forgotten time. As he stepped inside, a golden book suddenly fell from the highest shelf. Its cover shimmered with a blue crystal glowing at the center. When Adam touched the book, a soft light surrounded him. On the first page, words appeared magically. The Enchanted Book of Knowledge, only for those who truly seek to learn. Adam's heart began to race. This was no ordinary book. As he turned the next page, a calm voice whispered from within the light. "Young seeker, do you accept the challenge of knowledge?" With trembling hands, Adam replied, "Yes, I do." The pages flipped rapidly, glowing brighter and brighter until the whole room filled with light. And in that moment, Adam's greatest adventure began. Inside the swirl of light, Adam felt as if he was floating. When the glow faded, he found himself in a strange new world. The sky was deep blue, and the ground shimmered like white stone. Ahead stood a giant door, carved with symbols from countless languages. Each one meant knowledge. The door opened by itself, and an old man in white robes stepped forward. His eyes carried calmness, and his voice sounded ancient yet kind. "Welcome, Adam," he said. "This is the Valley of Knowledge. Every seeker who arrives here must pass through a journey of trials." Adam asked softly, "Why me?" The old man smiled. "The book chose you. To master true knowledge, you must discover 7 secrets, each one a lesson of wisdom." He raised his staff and struck the ground. A glowing circle of light appeared beneath Adam's feet. "This is your first gate," said the man. "If your heart truly seeks to learn, the path will open." Adam took a step forward, and once again the light wrapped around him, carrying him toward the unknown. Adam opened his eyes and found himself in a vast golden desert. The sun burned high above, and the heat made every step harder. His throat was dry, and he felt weak. Suddenly, the familiar voice of the book echoed through the air. "Knowledge belongs to those who endure. Lose your patience, and the journey ends." Adam sat down on the sand, closed his eyes, and whispered, "I will be patient." Moments later, a cool breeze blew. Clouds formed above, and the first drop of rain kissed his face. Within seconds, the desert transformed. Raindrops danced on the sand, and from the ground rose a stone covered in glowing words. "Patience is the key that unlocks the doors of wisdom." Adam smiled with relief. "I've learned my first secret." As the rain sparkled around him, the enchanted book appeared mid-air, its pages turning by themselves. "The next secret awaits you in the forest," it wrote in shining letters. With renewed hope, Adam stepped forward into the shimmering mist. Adam reached the edge of a wide, green forest. Tall trees swayed gently in the wind, whispering secrets to one another. As he walked deeper, a deep voice called out, "Stop, seeker of knowledge." Startled, Adam looked around. The voice was coming from a massive tree with glowing eyes. You can talk?" Adam asked in disbelief. The tree chuckled softly. "Only to those who truly listen. This forest speaks only to hearts, not ears." The tree told him that the second secret of knowledge lay in listening. Those who wish to learn must first learn to hear, not only words, but meaning. Adam sat quietly under the tree, listening not just with his ears, but with his heart. The leaves rustled, and the forest seemed to hum softly around him. Then, a golden line of light appeared on the tree's trunk, forming the words, "Listening is the first door to understanding." Adam bowed in gratitude. The book shimmered again, recording the new secret. After leaving the forest, Adam arrived at a beautiful crystal river. The water sparkled blue like liquid light. In its center swam a bright fish wearing a crown of light. "Traveler," said the fish, "to cross this river, you must speak only the truth. Liars cannot pass." Adam thought quietly. "Once, I lied to my teacher and said I finished my homework," he admitted. The fish nodded. "Then speak your truth now, and the river will listen." Adam took a deep breath and said, "I made a mistake. I won't lie again." The river began to glow. The water parted like curtains, revealing a glowing path across. "You have learned the third secret, truth," said the fish before disappearing into the light. Adam stepped across the shining bridge as the enchanted book floated above him, its next symbol glowing brighter than ever. He smiled. 3 secrets down, 4 to go. Adam crossed the glowing river and found himself standing near a strange village covered in twilight. The houses looked abandoned, and long shadows stretched across the streets. As he walked, he saw people moving slowly, their faces pale, eyes dull, and voices weak. One of them whispered, "We have lost our light, because we forgot to share what we knew." The enchanted book glowed and said softly, "Knowledge kept in darkness becomes a curse. To keep it alive, you must share it." Adam felt a warmth rise in his heart. He walked to the center of the village and spoke loudly. "You haven't lost your light. It's inside you. Share what you know." He began teaching a child how to read a fallen scroll. One by one, others joined. The moment they started learning together, the shadows faded. The whole village filled with golden light. The book opened and revealed the 4th secret. Knowledge grows when shared. Adam smiled as the villagers thanked him. The light surrounded him again, guiding him to the next realm. Now Adam stood at the foot of a giant mountain that touched the clouds. The path upward was steep, with rocks glowing faintly in the moonlight. A voice echoed from above. "Only the brave may climb the mountain of wisdom." Adam's legs trembled as cold winds pushed against him. Halfway up, he slipped and almost fell, but he held on tightly to a vine. His hands bled, yet his eyes stayed strong. When he finally reached the top, the same voice spoke again, gentler this time. "Courage is not the absence of fear, but moving forward despite it." The ground beneath him glowed, and a symbol of fire appeared on the book's cover. The 5th secret, courage strengthens knowledge. Adam looked down at the breathtaking world below, whispering, "Now I know. Without courage, no truth can be reached." At the mountain's summit, Adam found a crystal mirror floating in the air. When he looked into it, he didn't see his reflection. He saw all his doubts, fears, and mistakes. He heard the book whisper, "To know others, you must first know yourself." Adam stared into the mirror. He saw the times he was arrogant, lazy, or unkind. Tears rolled down his cheeks. "I want to change," he said. "I want to be better." The mirror rippled like water, and his reflection smiled back, calm, kind, and wise. The words appeared in light. "Self-awareness is the 6th secret of knowledge." The mirror then shattered into glowing pieces that rose into the sky, forming a path of light. Adam followed it, his heart lighter than before. Adam now entered a place that looked like the sky itself had turned into a library. Shelves of light floated among the stars, each book shimmering with constellations. A celestial librarian appeared, a being made of starlight. "Every star here is a thought once born in a mind," she said. "Your thoughts too can shine if guided by wisdom." Adam reached for a book made of light. As he opened it, thousands of small stars flew out, forming a sentence across the heavens. "Knowledge without humility burns brighter than it should, and fades faster." He bowed his head and said, "Then I will stay humble, no matter how much I learn." The librarian smiled and placed a glowing quill in his hand. "You have learned the 7th secret. Humility gives wisdom its light." A bright portal opened before Adam. The librarian said gently, "Your journey nears its end, young seeker." When Adam stepped through, he found himself back in the old village library, the same place where it all began. The golden book floated before him, its pages now glowing with all 7 secrets. The voice spoke one final time. "Knowledge is not power alone. It is responsibility, patience, truth, listening, sharing, courage, and humility." As the last word echoed, the book turned into pure light and entered Adam's heart. When he opened his eyes, he was holding an ordinary book again, but this time, he knew what made it truly powerful. He smiled softly, whispering, "The real magic of knowledge is what it makes you become." As Adam looked around the familiar library, everything began to blur again. The floor opened beneath him, and he gently floated down into a lush green garden filled with flowers that shimmered like tiny clocks. Each petal ticked softly, glowing in rhythm. An old voice echoed through the air. "Knowledge without time is incomplete. Patience allows wisdom to bloom." Adam walked deeper and saw a tree of time in the center. Its leaves were half green, half golden. When he touched the trunk, he saw moments from his past. Every time he rushed to answers instead of learning slowly. A gentle wind whispered, "Every flower here took time to grow. So must you." He sat beneath the tree, breathing calmly. The ticking slowed, the air became still, and suddenly the flowers began to bloom faster, brighter, as if rewarding his patience. The book appeared beside him, glowing softly. Eighth secret: time nourishes knowledge. Adam smiled and whispered, "From now on, I'll give time to every lesson I learn." After leaving the garden, Adam entered a vast city made of mirrors and glass towers. Every step he took echoed loudly, and every word he spoke came back to him, but slightly changed. "Who are you?" he asked aloud. The echo replied, "Who do you think you are?" He frowned. "This place repeats my thoughts." The Enchanted Book whispered, "This is the city of echoes. Here, your thoughts shape reality. Speak wisely." Adam watched as his careless words created cracks in the glass streets. He quickly corrected himself, speaking with kindness. Instantly, the cracks healed and flowers of light grew from them. He realized that words carry power. They can harm or heal. Then the book glowed again. Ninth secret: words reflect the soul. Speak with care. Adam nodded, his reflection smiling back at him from every mirror, stronger and wiser than before. Adam's next step brought him to a tall silver tower that touched the clouds. Inside, floating orbs of light showed scenes of dreams, some bright, others dark. The book whispered, "Dreams are the seeds of knowledge. Without dreams, wisdom has no wings." He looked into one orb and saw himself as a teacher, guiding other children. In another, he saw a world where people used knowledge for greed. He understood the message. Dreams could lead to greatness or destruction, depending on the dreamer's heart. At the tower's top, he found a crystal feather resting on a pedestal. When he touched it, the whole tower filled with light. The book wrote its next line in golden ink. 10th secret: dream wisely, for knowledge follows imagination. Adam smiled as the feather floated above his hand, glowing like hope itself. Next, Adam reached a vast canyon with a broken bridge hanging above a glowing abyss. Two paths shimmered ahead, one golden, one dark silver. A voice rose from below. Every learner faces a choice: knowledge for good or knowledge for power. Adam hesitated. The dark path looked easier, faster, but the golden one was steep and narrow. He remembered the lessons: patience, truth, courage, humility. He stepped firmly onto the golden path. Instantly, the bridge began to rebuild itself, stone by stone, glowing brighter with every step. The book appeared once again. 11th secret: true knowledge is guided by choice and conscience. When Adam reached the other side, the canyon vanished, replaced by endless light. Adam now entered a grand hall made of marble and silver, where hundreds of glowing question marks floated in the air. Each question whispered softly, "What is truth? What is love? Who are you?" The book glowed and said, "The wise never stop questioning. Curiosity keeps knowledge alive." Adam began answering each question honestly, not with pride, but with thought. With every answer, a question mark turned into a star and floated upward, lighting the hall brighter and brighter. When he reached the last question, "What is the purpose of knowledge?" he paused and said, "To make the world better than we found it." The hall shined like daybreak. The book's pages fluttered wildly, then settled. 12th secret: questions lead to growth. Adam bowed his head, feeling wiser than ever. Adam now stood beside a calm, silvery river. The water reflected not just his face, but moments from his past: his first day at school, his mistakes, his laughter, his tears. The book whispered gently, "True wisdom is born from remembering, not forgetting." Every experience is a teacher. As Adam knelt by the river, each ripple revealed a memory he had ignored. Times he failed, times he gave up too soon. He felt sadness, but also understanding. He dipped his hand into the river, and instead of water, he lifted streams of light. The memories turned golden and entered his heart. Then words appeared across the water's surface. 13th secret: memory gives meaning to knowledge. Adam smiled, his eyes glistening. Every mistake was a lesson. Every lesson, a step forward. After the river, Adam reached an island surrounded by mist. No wind, no sound, just stillness. Even his footsteps made no noise. The book appeared, words forming slowly. In silence, the loudest truths are heard. He sat down on the soft sand, closed his eyes, and listened. At first, he heard nothing. Then slowly, his thoughts became clearer. The noise of worry, doubt, and fear began to fade. In that silence, he felt something beautiful, peace. A voice, soft as a breeze, whispered from within him. You are not just learning knowledge, you are becoming it. The sand beneath him shimmered with golden light, forming the next words. 14th secret, silence reveals understanding. When Adam opened his eyes, the island glowed around him like dawn. As the mist cleared, Adam found himself standing before a grand temple carved from crystal. Golden beams flowed through the walls, lighting the entire sky. He entered slowly. Inside, countless orbs floated, each one showing a person somewhere in the world learning something new. Children reading, elders teaching, scientists discovering. The book's voice echoed warmly. Knowledge connects every heart. When you learn, you lift the world. Adam watched the orbs glow brighter as he whispered prayers of gratitude for his teachers and family. A huge crystal door opened ahead, showing all the 7 original secrets written in light. Then, beneath them, new words appeared. 15th secret, knowledge shared becomes light eternal. Adam's heart swelled with pride and humility. He had learned, grown, and changed. The temple doors opened wider, and light carried him upward once more. Now Adam floated in a space filled with starlight. No ground, no sky, only infinity. The enchanted book appeared before him, glowing like a sun. Adam, it said, you have gathered 15 secrets. But there is one last test, the greatest of all. Will you give this book away? Adam's eyes widened. But if I give you away, I'll lose everything I've learned. The voice replied, real knowledge cannot be lost, only shared. He looked at the glowing book for a long moment, then smiled softly. Then yes, I'll give it to the next seeker. As he released the book, it rose into the stars, bursting into thousands of lights that scattered across the universe, seeds of wisdom waiting to be found. A calm voice whispered, final secret, knowledge lives through giving. When Adam opened his eyes, he was back in his world, standing inside the old dusty library. But something had changed. The shelves glowed faintly, and every book seemed alive. Children from the village gathered around him. One asked, Adam, what did you find? Adam smiled, opening an ordinary book. I found that every page, every word, every lesson has magic, if you read it with your heart. As he began teaching them what he had learned, the room filled with warm golden light. The same light that once lived inside the enchanted book now shone from Adam himself. Outside, the sun rose over the village, brighter than ever. The legend of the enchanted book and the reward of knowledge spread far and wide, inspiring countless others to seek, learn, and share. Adam was no longer just a boy. He had become the keeper of light.